Good morning. I've got a few things I'd like to say. I did not rehearse this, but I thought about it this morning because I know I'm going to get kind of emotional. I believe in quality over quantity. I did not show that yesterday. That video I uploaded yesterday was so dumb. I'll be the first one to admit it. It did make me laugh, though, when I got to see my sister watch it later on last night. Anyways, I told you I was going to tell my story, who I am, where I come from, how I got to be who I am today, and more importantly, why I care so much about people taking care of themselves and spreading the message that I wish I would have gotten 7 years ago, about 7 years ago when I was diagnosed with MS. I'm going to start with where I came from. My parents are two of the most amazing people you could ever meet. I believe that when my mother was born, the sky opened up and she was given a pair of angel wings. She was sent to walk this earth to make it a better place. My father is one of the most hardworking people you could ever meet. I worked for him for 13 years. I always felt like he put me down and made me feel like I wasn't good enough, and he pushed me too hard. I would get angry. It took a long time for me to realize he only pushed me because he worked that hard. He wanted me to succeed the way he succeeded. I love them both, two of the greatest people in the world. My sister, she can be very hard on me sometimes. I love her to death. She is a great person. She loves me. Everything she does is out of love. I know that. She can be hard on me, though. It's just her personality. It's the way she is. My brother has always supported me, always loved me. He is more of a strong, silent type. Didn't ever say a lot other than I love you, which meant everything to me. So I'm not going to go through my entire life. We'll start at the MS though. I was diagnosed. I've had 4 spine surgeries in my life. After the second one, I think, is when I started feeling some MS symptoms. I 100% blame the back surgeon. I was having numbness in my legs, my left arm. I swore he had screwed something up. My mother and I got in the car, drove to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, saw a back surgeon there. I begged the guy to fix me. He looked at every scan, every MRI, every CT, every X-ray. Told me the doctor here did fantastic work. That there's nothing he could fix. There was nothing the doctor did wrong. I came back, made an appointment with the doctor here, basically just to apologize and to return all my records and to thank him. Still couldn't figure out what all the problems were. My first surgery was on my neck. He said, Kyle, leg pain typically comes more from your neck than your back. So he sent me for another MRI and X-ray on my neck. The radiologist noted the multiple sclerosis lesions in my brain in my cervical spine when they did the MRI in my neck. That's kind of how I discovered the MS. The radiologist noted it in the report. I went to a neurologist. I was officially diagnosed with MS. I didn't believe it. I thought it was all in my head. I thought I could fight through every symptom there was. There's no way. I thought they were lying to me. I thought that the symptoms were getting worse because I was letting the doctors convince me that. I didn't believe them at all. My father, who, like I said, was a pain to work for because he was hard on me, out of love, but again, I didn't realize it at the time, paid me very, very, very well to sit in his office for a year and basically do nothing. I did very little. He'd give me work and I'd whine and complain that I had a disability and how can you expect all this from me and what are you thinking? I would get downright angry. My sister absolutely loving as can be, would do anything for anybody, was always very hard on me because she cared about me. That would upset me and make me angry. I'd get so mad at her that I wouldn't talk to her for days, weeks. Now I try to talk to her every single day. I love her. She is great. My brother, more like I said, strong silent. Didn't say a whole lot. He would always hug me, always support me, always love me. I, at one point, I started getting angry with him, thinking everybody else gets mad at me about the way I act. I was self-destructing. So my brother doesn't get mad at me, he must not care. That is an absolute lie. He cares so much. He loves me, I love him. He knows it. He is fantastic. Again, so I didn't believe I had MS at first. I just thought I was being lied to. As the symptoms started getting worse, I started sinking lower and lower and lower and lower. I found my relief at the bottom of a bottle of Crown Royal, or a 18-pack of beer, whatever it happened to be. You know, just about everybody stopped on the way home from work to have a beer or two, you know, kind of decompress, wind down. I would stop semi-frequently. I wouldn't have a beer or two. I would have 8, 10, 12, and just get drunk enough that I would forget that I would have MS. I live in a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everything. I thought I was smarter than everybody. I was going to stop getting so drunk every night at the bar. I would go to the bar after work, you know, sometimes once, twice, 3 times a week, sometimes every day. And I would have like 2 beers, 3 beers. I would make a big deal about it when I was leaving. Big deal about, oh, I'm going home, you know, that's all I need to decompress. I'd go home, there was always a 30-pack in my fridge and a 30-pack sitting next to it. I would drink so much that I would pass out wherever I was sitting, wake up at some point in the middle of the night, go to bed. But I felt good about myself because I was tricking everyone. Well, I wasn't. Everybody knew. I was just a fool. I thought I was smarter than everybody. I'm not. So then, like, well, hell, that ain't working. Everybody knows. So I'm only going to have 3 or 4 drinks when I drink. So I switched to either whiskey or vodka. Well, I'd pour the drinks heavy enough that 3 of them was like a half bottle. And I'd get, again, just hammered. Why not? I would forget about my problems. I wouldn't have problems. They all just went away. They sunk into the bottom of the bottle and it didn't matter. Nothing mattered to me. I was absolutely self-destructing. I was a terrible person to the people that love me most. I do not know, I don't want to know, and I would never admit how many times my mother must have went to bed in absolute tears because I treated her absolutely horribly. I was a mean person, very mean. And I think I was the meanest to her because I knew she would always support me and always love me. Sorry. So, anyways, that's my mother. Absolute angel. It is a little bit sunny out. This isn't just because I'm crying. My father, I'd fight with him at work. I'd argue with him at work. Like I said, he drove me so hard. It drove me nuts. I couldn't stand it. It took until after I stopped working for him. The love and respect so many people have for him. He worked so hard to be successful in life. That's all he wanted from me. I know that. That's why he pushed me. That's why he drove me as hard as he did to be the man that I am. For that, I can never repay him. He was always on my side, always at my back, always took care of me, and just a great man. My sister, same thing. She would yell at me because she cared about me. She would yell because that was her way of expressing to me I needed to make a change. I wouldn't admit that I needed to make a change because I was too drunk to notice that I needed to make a change. My brother, again, I already talked about him, strong and silent, always loved me, always supported me. He wouldn't fight and argue with me again, not just because I don't think he liked to express his emotions that much, other than just telling me how much he loved me. So I was terrible to my mother. I fought with my father. I was terrible to my sister. At one point, I ignored my brother because I didn't think that he cared, which I know he did, unconditionally. So I continued to fall because I felt like I had nobody. I will never forget the worst day in my life. I woke up one day, I truly thought that somebody or some group was after me. I was so paranoid. I went through panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Nothing I could do would help. So I called a friend of mine. I asked her, please come over right now. I need you now. She said, I just put my daughter in the bathtub. Give me 20, 25 minutes. Are you going to be okay? I said, no, I'm not. She said, okay, well, my daughter's in the bathtub. I can't leave. I said, I'm coming to your house. I don't have that much time. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going nuts. So she left the door unlocked for me. I went and spent the day with her and her beautiful daughter, doing nothing. I mean, I remember sitting on a trampoline with her daughter because that's what her daughter wanted to do. We played games, just took my mind off everything. You know, we went for ice cream. I'm addicted to ice cream. Anybody who knows me knows that. So we went for ice cream. Her daughter wanted to play games. We played games. She ran around. I did my best to run and chase her. We ended up stopping at her brother's house on the way home, where I obviously had to have a few drinks because that's how I forgot. The closer I got to home, the more I started to remember I'm going to go home all alone and somebody is still after me. I was paranoid. I was convinced. So I ended up sleeping on her recliner for about half the night at her parents' house. I did that several times, actually. It's the most comfortable recliner ever. I know you know who you are. If your parents ever get rid of that, I want it. Anyways, that was absolute rock bottom for me. But when I hit rock bottom, I didn't start to improve. I stayed there. Continued a self-destructive path. I didn't care if I lived or died. I didn't think I was important to this world at all. Didn't care about anybody or anything. I pushed away those who were closest to me. Like I said, I think in the back of my mind, I knew that they would never abandon me. So that's why I pushed them away, knowing they would come back. I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing track of where I was now. So I'm at rock bottom every day. I think I'm smarter than the world, smarter than everybody. Nobody knows how bad I have it, right? That's what I think. Absolutely lying to myself, 100%. This whole stem cell deal comes about. My mother tells me about it. She actually reached out and spoke to somebody who had went, taken their child, and had great success. So my parents sent me to Panama for a week. My father and a good friend went with me. We had a fun week. We were there. I mean, it wasn't about fun. It was about medical, but I think we still enjoyed ourselves. It helped tremendously. Unbelievably. It changed me, changed the person I am. I feel like I'm nicer, I care. Where, like I said, I was an evil ass before. Didn't know how to handle myself. So, people started noticing the change. They must have noticed that I was a nicer person. I always wore a mask to be nice. I always kept who I was a secret. I didn't want to be evil and mean, except to those people that loved me the most, because I knew I could get away with it. I end up going back for a second treatment. I'm feeling amazing right now. I don't know if it's the treatment, because I don't fully think it's kicked in yet. But I'm so excited, so motivated, so positive about this whole thing right now. I want this experience to get out to people. I truly want this to change someone's life the way it changed mine. Not just physically, but I'm in a better place mentally, emotionally. I truly want this to help somebody. I love my family. I love my friends. I know I pushed away the people that meant the most to me, because the people that meant the most to me were typically the people who wanted to see a change in me. I truly don't know what to say other than this experience changed my life. It truly did. It made me a better person. I believe that. I truly, truly, truly believe that. I am nicer. I am kinder. I am emotionally stable. I think I battled bouts of depression. I mean, who wouldn't, though, being diagnosed with something like this at the age of 29? Like I said, I found the answer to my question in the bottom of a bottle, which is wrong. Nothing wrong with drinking, getting drunk, whatever, having a good time. But I did it every day, and it made me a terrible person. I've been given an opportunity, like I said, to go twice down to Panama for these treatments. The first one was huge. This one, I am so excited. I truly believe it's going to change the way I feel even more. I am a nicer person, a kinder person. I truly care. I want this to get out to everybody. It doesn't matter what you're fighting, what you're battling. Everybody goes through something. Everybody needs someone to lean on. So, I don't even really know what to say, but this is who I am. This is why I am who I am. This is why I care so much. I want to help change people's lives. Mine's been changed. I know the treatment was a lot of it. The encouragement and support. Oh, well, it was no good. Can't go that way. The treatment, the support, I feel is amazing. Great family, great friends. I can't say enough. I could spend 3 hours thanking everybody who's been a part of my life. I know you don't want to listen to that, though, and I don't blame you, because I don't want to talk about it. That's kind of how I started, where I came from. I mean, I just admitted stuff to a camera, to whoever watches this, that I have never spoken out loud before. I have never talked about with anybody. I have never told the people that I care about most in life. All I can do. My sister wanted me to come over and watch the Bills game with her today. I told her I couldn't. I can't because I'm afraid she's going to see this. And when she sees this, she's going to break down and cry. I'm going to break down and cry. And I just want to see the Bills win today. That's where I'm at right now. Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. It's time to ground the Jets. On that note, I'm out. Go Buffalo. Go Josh Allen. Let's see what happens. Ground the Jets. This is our chance. Let's take the lead in the division. I'm rambling now about the Bills because I need to change. I had to do a very good friend's house. I don't want to break down in front of him. So let's go Buffalo. Have a great day, everybody. I truly hope this reaches somebody that it can help. Thank you.